We spent the better part of 2 weeks buried in product disclosure statements, which is the driest reading one will ever do. But it was rewarding in the end. It was painful to get through, but we found a lot of differences in the cover that NRMA Insurance had. And then what we did was rank those based on what we thought was most to least important in terms of whether it solved a sort of a human tension in the category. And then we did the same for all their key competitors. And we ended up with a matrix that ended all matrices. It was a monster. And then out of that, we sort of talked to the client and went into quantitative testing to figure out which would drive acquisition and retention. And that put a consumer-based hierarchy to them rather than just our own instinct. And then we had some really healthy debates with the clients about which to push first versus second. And we didn't necessarily follow in strict order what the research suggested. In fact, covering the parts that other insurers don't cover was well down the list, somewhere in the vicinity of 15 or 16 in terms of ranking of driving acquisition, but it performed the best out of all of them from a return on investment and a cost efficiency point of view. So there's kind of good proof that research can help, but then there is room for instinct, to balance that equation. That makes for really good creativity. But we had an inkling for what the strategy should be before we even pitched the business, based on how the category was working. The category was full of brands that had big, lofty, fluffy, emotional ads. And this brand had done that in the past, and that's in fact what had led to the business being pitched. So we had an inkling of what might be different, and instead of having emotional, fluffy promises, we disrupted that and we went the opposite. We went proof over promise, and proof is in the product, and interrogate the product until it confesses its strength, and off we went. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend you always do that. It's a case of just seeing how the game in that category is played and seeing how you can differentiate within it, and then through that you'll charter a course that's right, to create the strategy that needs to be created, to maximise the business results and brand differentiation. But it's not a file save as every time.